Hey guys, Storm here. This month's challenge is a very simple one at the surface level. It's just going to be the color red. Red is a really easy one to get. You've got cherries, you've got blackberries, raspberries, a couple other things like that. That just, oh, great, easy color to get. But how do you keep that color? How do you make sure that it's staying very brilliant, that you don't lose it over time? There's a lot of different ways you need to treat your mead in order to make sure you keep it and you keep it as strong as possible, as well as tasting exactly like the fruit. It's very easy to make a colored mead. It might be a little bit more of an effort to make it taste like blackberries and currants, and be able to taste each one individually, or red currant and maybe strawberry. Strawberry is not a great one for getting a red color. It's a little bit more of an orange. But if you go mix it with another fruit, you can get one that, tastes like strawberry, still has that brilliant red color. Or maybe you just want a strawberry straight mead. Put a dash of hibiscus in there as a colorant, or dragon fruit powder, or a couple other things. You could get something that's very, very interesting. Some of the other ones that I was taking a look at, like maybe prickly pear cactus or beets. I've had really good luck with beets. It not only makes a very, very bright color, it also makes the foam pink, which is kind of a fun little party trick. The mead I'm drinking right now, this is a raspberry chocolate, and it is very, very tasty. It's about 3 months old, and the color has stayed very true. The important part is to make sure that you have no oxygen in the vessel after it's done fermenting. There's a couple ways you can do it. Do you want to do it with Campden? Do you want to put like a carb stone in there and bubble CO2 through? Do you just want to be really careful on your whole way through, not aerating too late, making sure that your vessel is filled all the way well, and making sure that your, stoppers never get unseated. Sometimes people will go seal them up too early before the fermentation's done and top pops off. Yeah, you put it back on that morning and it still tastes fine. It's not going to taste oxidized, but the color is one of the first things to oxidize and precipitate out. So it's very important you preserve that. To do so, you want to keep two magic powders up your sleeve, especially for a red mead. The two powders that I'm going to be using are Lalzyme EXV and FT Rogue. Both of these are from Scott Labs. They're just incredible. They're not too cheap, but if they do their job, they're very important. The Lalzyme is mostly pectinase. It's very, very good at increasing flavor, breaking down fruit. This one's specifically designed to work really well with grapes, but it does a really great job on any red colored fruit that you really want to preserve the color in. You just dissolve it in water and stir it into the must right at the start. There's very good directions online for how much to add. I do about a gram per gallon, sorry, excuse me, a gram per 10 pounds of fruit for the Lalzyme. This will help really stabilize your color and make sure your aromatic profile is very well preserved as well. FT Rogue is a really cool one. It's what you call a sacrificial tannin. It also, obviously, at higher dosage, makes a increased mouthfeel and increases the perception of oakiness, and there's like a bit of a chestnut flavor to it. It's very, very good additive. But one of the other things is the oxygen that would precipitate out, and a lot of the other chemical compounds that would precipitate with your colorants and flavonoids and stuff like that. Those bind to sacrificial tannins and drop out. And so then this very, very mild flavor that you can always just add a little bit more of does the job of eating that stuff up. And that's really, really important for preserving your character. Now, let's say you go put those in and you're used to using bentonite as a clarifier. If, this one, like I was saying, 3 months in, crystal clear. I could enter a competition right now for clarity. Flavor might take a little bit more time at 18% than 3 months, but so bentonite you can't go add with pectinase and a bunch of other additives, at least not right off the bat. You got to let them sit, you got to let them work, you got to let them do their thing for a little bit. But then 24 hours in primary, you put in just a little bit of your bent, and then the colors will really, really pop real quick. You don't have to do extended aging. Remember that whole oxidation thing? The less you have to rack and transfer, you just want to get the cake formed, get it off, bulk age, don't touch. And it's process, 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 process for making sure you get good, strong red colors and keeping them from turning into muddy browns. Beyond that, world's kind of your oyster. Really looking forward to see what people fish out. There's all kinds of different ways to get real good red colors, different fruit. Do you want to do a hydromel? Do you want to do something that's ready for Valentine's? That's kind of the main idea of this one is, Valentine wine. I typically do a rose. Red roses get a bit of red color to them, but maybe you do part rose, part hibiscus, pick another flower that fits along with that theme. You can make some really beautiful stuff. But like I said, looking forward to what you guys make.
What
See
I
you all around.
totally didn't forget was part two. Totally and absolutely no way did I forget that. So last month's challenge, the Wozniaks. Hope they're going well for everyone. They're going very well for me. I have got two of them here in front of me. They are perfectly identical, except, excuse me, this one is the one with the inverted honey. We'll see if it ends up tasting any different in the end. Right now, it's still mid ferment. It's trickling down slowly. It's got a 2 or 3% more to go, ABV wise. But the smell you can taste right now, or smell right now, and that is fairly obvious. Smelling this one, and then smelling the other. The one in this glass is significantly stronger in aroma, and this is the one that was unheated. Both had 3 pounds, or excuse me, 2.5 kilograms of blackcurrant added right away in primary. And this one might smell a little bit more, berry-ish, but the big thing is it's got a way more aromatic flavor. I do think that the heating damaged some of the volatiles. We'll see how it ends up in the end. Proof is in the pudding. These aren't meads that are going to be ready to drink in 3 months. They're meads that are going to be consumed in a year or 2 or 3. And so it's going to be very important to look at it, what it looks like at longer periods of time, not just what it smells like 3 weeks into primary, because a lot's going to happen between now and then on these. The one other one I've got going is a 15-gallon traditional that was pretty beefy. Started it at around 175, and that's still got a long ways to go. It's going slower than the fruit one. I ended up slapping a heater band on the keg, got that up to 75 degrees with 11-11-18, and it seems to be doing a little bit better now. I do need to revisit how I'm doing it with the heater pad. I think it's a little bit more heat than I needed, but glad to finally have that last piece of temperature control sorted out for my equipment behind me. Anyhow, that was about all I had. Thanks for your time.